Welcome back to Ox Tools. I'm Tom. So we got another Meatloaf episode going here, and some viewer appreciation packages showed up. So we're gonna take a look at some of that stuff. There's a couple of pretty neat things in there. This weekend went up to my favorite scrapyard in Santa Rosa, the TEF Salvage, and bought a few things up there for some upcoming projects. Picked up some aluminum plate and some other things, some extrusion that we're going to use for a project coming up. Then on Sunday we went to the flea market here, the local flea market in Concord, and I picked up a few things there. And a friend of mine who sells there has had something that I've been looking at for, I don't know, a year or so. Anyway, I finally splurged and I ended up buying it. So, and then, I don't know, I think I showed this a couple of months ago. This is one of these ball swivel guys here that you mount to a bench and then you can move it around and then you can lock it. So this thing I got from this friend of mine is going to have a place of honor on this here. So we'll take a look at that, and then if we have enough time, maybe we'll build a bracket that goes on this to mount the thing up. So let's see, what else? I've been messing around with this taper thing a little bit, and so we're going to have another installment of the short taper turning series this next coming week here. So we'll finish that thing up later in the week, and I don't know, just get an apron on and let's go look at some stuff and see what we got.
Okay, so let's see, the first thing I got was this little guy here. This is just another puller, and I think I mentioned this before. Whenever I see pullers, I usually just get them. This one's in pretty good shape. This one's kind of neat because it has this locking element here, excuse me, that keeps the arms from spreading out. Now, I already have one like this, but what I was thinking when I was there at the flea market was, well, since I have, and this one's kind of I don't know, it's an unknown brand here, although it looks pretty reasonable. I wouldn't feel bad about welding this on or cutting these off and adding something on here, a different type of job, right? So now, with that thought in mind, that this one's kind of, I can modify it a little bit. I've given myself permission to modify it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say there. So now it just expands its possible uses. So that was the first thing I got there. That was $3, which was, okay, fine, $3. And see, I don't think I got anything with that particular thing there. So the next one is, let's see. What the heck was it? All right, well, I can't remember now. So we got that. Trying to remember if this was in the same lot there. Oh, I know what came with this one, yeah. So there was the vise, it was this little vise, and then a thing of packing tape here. And I think that was it for this one here. So this was $15, okay? Now this is 3M, Scotch 3M packing tape, and I've been doing a fair amount of shipping lately, so anyway, I've been going through this stuff, so I got some of that. And this guy here, this is a little drill press vise, but it's just dirty. It's in pretty good shape. Looking at it, and there's a couple little marks in it. Okay, not too bad. Let's kind of brush that off. It's a Stanley. It's been sitting in somebody's on somebody's drill press next to their table saw or whatever. So this isn't bent. It's only got a couple little marks in it. The jaws aren't chewed up. And then most importantly, let me open it up a little bit here. So the main thing is down in here, it's got one little mark in it. Okay, not too bad. Is it's not all chowdered up down in here, so it's got one little divot in it there. So I'll clean that up. And I don't have a little drill press vise. Well, I do now. And so now this one I can actually clamp in the larger vise if I want to hold something that's a little more delicate. A little more delicate in the drill press. Okay, so that was $15 for this and the tape. Okay, so the next one is these guys here, and this particular screwdriver. This is probably the strongest magnet I've ever seen on one of these things here. Okay. That's like awesome, right? Now here's my standard one here. Look at that, and it barely picks anything up, right? But this one here, this is like, that's quite the magnet. It caught my attention. Now the only drag here is it's a Phillips, right? I usually carry a flat blade, which doubles as a scraper, pry bar, etc., right? Anyway, that caught my attention, and this plumb wrench here, and this is this pebble finish here, they call it, I think. Yeah, it looks pretty good. 7/8 is a good size that fits all your tie-down hardware on your mill. So anyway, that's a good looking wrench there. I love their little logo here. It's this triangular thing, and then the O is a kind of a triangle too. It's kind of this Art Deco look to it there. So I don't really know how old this particular one is with this finish here. I'm not sure. Anyway, this was $3 for these two. Look at that. That thing's like tenacious as hell, right? Anyway, $3 for that, so pretty good. Okay, set those aside. Wipe off my my new background here. This should give a nice exposure here on this here. Okay, next one is this here, and so let's lay these out here. There's not much to look at, but they're unopened packs of premium sandpaper here. And he had some coarser stuff, but I went for the, what's the coarsest one I got? 80 to 150. And $5 a pack, so I bought them all. I don't know, these are probably at least $20 a piece. There's 20 sheets, so figure $1 a sheet, right? Would be, well, $80, right? Anyway, I think that's a pretty good deal there, so. Okay, let me regroup here and we'll get some more stuff out. All right, next one is this guy here. This is just a Proto 3/4 inch wrench. A couple little marks in it, but in general it's pretty good. This was $2 for this. You know, it's just a high quality combination wrench that's a common size that you use for all kinds of stuff. So kind of couldn't pass that up. This was $1/4, okay, and it says Edna on it, which sometimes it cracks me up, the name, people's names in their tools. So, and this is a Stanley 100 plus, and the tip's in good shape, so it hasn't been used as a pry bar or anything. And so for $1/4, yeah, I'll take it for $1/4. Come on, Okay, and then moving on here. So the piece de resistance here, I visited a friend of mine, and he sells there pretty regularly. And anyway, so I went by his booth. This is a guy I used to work with about 25 years ago or 30 years ago, something like that. Quite a while ago when I did sheet metal work professionally. Anyway, I went through his tool bit box there, and he had some brand new blanks. These are 5/8, I think. Yeah, 16 millimeter blank, something like that. You know, Adam and I have been doing this chip control thing, and I went to buy some high-speed blanks because I didn't have any, and I've been poking around on eBay and looking around, and they're kind of expensive, so I haven't had to buy one in ages. So anyway, so I'll show you the. So I bought a few things from Steve, and so I got these. Then I got this little book here, which is a cool little book, and this is a Norton tool room grinding book, and it's got a bunch of stuff in there, grinding single point tools, carbide tools. It's got chip breaker stuff in there, yada 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 yada, just a ton of stuff here. Okay, so he gave me this for free. Okay, the tool bits and this, he threw this into the deal. Because what I bought from him, and I've been talking myself into this for a while, is I bought this little vise from him. And I've been eyeballing this little thing for, I don't know, maybe a year now, something like that. And I'm going to have to get my magnifier here. Yeah, let me go get my magnifier, then I can read the name. It's made in Germany. It's a dovetail vise, and you know, some European vices, the front jaw is fixed while the rear jaw moves. So that's actually kind of a European trait there. And it's just a little sweetheart. And then let me open it up a little bit, and hopefully you can see it. Is these really fine serrations on the jaws. It has removable jaws, and it's not all beat to snot here. It's got a little anvil here for tapping on, or you know, for seating things on or whatever. Square thread looks like. Let me go get my magnifier, and then I can read that name off of there, and then I'll put it on the screen too. You know, when on the video there. So hold on just a second. All right, so I got my magnifier on here. Let's see if I can read that there. It's Boley, B-O-L-E-Y, and it looks like a little X, Boley X Leinen, L-E-I-N-E-N, and it says Germany. Let me brush that a little bit. Maybe I can get a. Oh, it's an and. It's an and symbol. So, Boley and Leinen, Germany. So, like I said, I'll put that on the screen, and you guys can research this if you feel like it. Let's pop it apart here. You know, he's had this there for a while, and I've just kind of lusted after it actually. Oh look, there's this one of the mounts. So what I think I'm going to do is I have an extra one of those ball swivel mounts. I think I'm going to put this one on that, and then have it around the shop. But look, it's got a square thread in it. Now this is fixed. Look at that. So that part's fixed, and then this is the nut. Okay, that kind of idles in this part. And now the reason they would do that is that way any filings or junk or whatever doesn't get on the screw, right? So the screw's protected by the nut, and which is smart thinking. Now this is a great little project here if somebody wanted to make one, right? And maybe one of these CAD jockeys out there would draw this up for us, and then we can post the drawings on the blog or something like that. But this is just a sweetheart little vise here, and this would be a great manageable project for guys to work on if they were so inclined. Anyway, like I said, I kind of lusted after it. I've been looking at it for a year. So it was $70. This is my big purchase for the day. So he threw this stuff in with it, which, okay, so I don't know if you priced these out recently. 5/8 tool blanks, those are probably $25 each. This book, you could easily pay $10 for that in a used bookstore or whatever. So, you know, my wife talked me into it. I was kind of hemming and hawing, and she said, just get the dang thing, and so I did. Anyway, anyway, so that's my my big spend for the flea market. All right, let's take a look at these viewer appreciation things that showed up. So the first one here comes from Mr. Al Briggs. Anyway, he sent me a little note here, and he sent me some books, and I'm a book hound, so this is kind of good. And this is a series of old cartoons that came out back in the 40s, I guess. And what's neat about them is that they're kind of machine shop subject matter. So the guy's got some tools, there's some machines, there's a little height gauge. The guy that wrote it is J.R. Williams, I think. Yeah, he was a machinist in the 20s and 30s and a cartoonist later on. So yeah. Anyway, so these are kind of interesting. Yeah, here's a guy with the big lathe. You know, hey, there's Adam. There's Adam putting a shaft in there in the lathe. So let's see if we can find Chuck in here somewhere. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, I read a couple, and they're kind of, you know, like a lot of cartoons, they can be dated a little bit. So the humor is slightly different back then than it is now. But we're gonna give these a little read, and then I'll probably pass them along to somebody else because they're kind of fun because of the subject matter. This one's about cowboys and stuff here. So anyway, Al, thank you very much. That's a very nice gift. I always like books. Books are pretty good, you know, it's very much appreciated. Thank you. Okay, next one here. This comes from Jim, the More Stuff guy. Let's see, what's his last name? Jim Sutter, and he sent me some abrasives. And let's take a look at these here. Well, these are all the same here, so let's just look at these. These are stripping discs here, and you can see that these are pretty aggressive looking guys here. I haven't tried one yet, but another viewer kind of turned me on to this Norton Blaze abrasives. Okay. So this is a real high performance ceramic abrasive, very long wearing, and I bought some sanding belts. Now the one that I have on there is an alumina zirconia, which is a premium abrasive, and they tend to last for long time. So once that one goes, I have a blaze belt that I'm going to put on there, and you know, it's orange like this, so it's easily identified. We're going to try that out. So this is in that same family of abrasives. So, but these are for cleaning rust and burrs and junk like that off, kind of scale and loose stuff. So we have to find something to test these out on. You know, you're not going to want to do these on a machine surface or anything like that. But if you have some rusty angle iron or something like that, you know, and you want to just kind of knock the crud off of it, these are going to be a good choice. Now this is nice because it has the built-in 5/811 hub, and this one you got to use the nuts and stuff for that. So so this fits a standard little mini grinder, and it's good for 13,000 RPM. So anyway, we'll give those a try, Jim. Thank you very much. That's a pretty generous gift. I don't imagine that these are cheap, because that sanding belt that I bought, it's premium abrasive, and they get premium money for it too. So anyway, thank you very much. That's a very kind gift, and we're going to give that. Actually, I see something I'm going to give it a try on. I got this railroad track that's on the other side of this table here. It's got some scunge on the top of it that I don't like, and I may just go over it with this and kind of give it a go and see how it behaves. Anyway, thank you very much, Jim. Okay, so this next one here, is pretty special. This comes from Benjamin Bullis, And where the heck is he? He is in Illinois, and he bought a little Harbor Freight mini mill that he converted to CNC, and so somehow he's programming that. He must have some CAM software, I don't know, but so he went through kind of an extensive process here to do this thing. Anyway, he tells me about some of what he went through to do this thing here. Anyway, let's take a look at this thing, because this is pretty cool. And obviously I've been in here and looked at it. But there it is. So this was made out of a solid piece of brass. So he machined this whole thing, and then put paint in there and painted this. And now I didn't send him any electronic files or anything. So I have to say that, actually, you know what? I'm going to go grab a pin, and we'll compare the pin to this, because he did a damn good job of copying that shape there. And then it's on the back here is in appreciation for all the videos. Thanks, Mr. Wizard, Tom Lipton, Benjamin Bullis. Anyway, let's go grab. I'm going to grab a pin real quick, and then we'll do a comparison and look at those together. Okay, so there's kind of the original right there, and you can see how well he did there. And this is a little more orange here, and that was intentional there. But I do like the red. It looks pretty good. The black and the red, it's hard to go wrong with the black, red, and brass. You know, pretty tough to go wrong in those colors there. Anyway, Benjamin, thank you very much. This is a very special gift, and I need to find a cool place to mount it. And I have to say that the shape here I find pleasing. I've always kind of not liked the perfect rectangle around this here, okay? So, you know, how the heck what do you do with that, right? And we've tried clipping corners and doing different things with it to make it look a little softer. And I think this is an excellent, I never experimented with anything like that. And I think that's a pretty good way to kind of soften the look of that. And you see, you know, this is a little bit harsh here, these corners, right? But this, you know, blends into a nice radius there. It's just nice. Nice job, buddy. Okay, so you know, you get a A there. You get an A plus. Okay. Anyway, that's a special gift. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. All right, so we're going to try this Blaze stripping disc here, and when I was sitting at the table there, I was looking at this top surface here, and I've really kind of wanted to do something with that, but you know, anyway, it's kind of low on the list. But let's try this Blaze disc on here, and just see how it does. Well, that's pretty good. I kind of like that. It's not breaking down very fast, so this thing looks like it's going to last a really long time. And it's taking a little bit of metal off. It's getting there was a little bit of oil and some other stuff. And then when I touched the paint on the side here, it really kind of went to town on that. So maybe I'll hit the side of that. And so that's, you know, I don't know, 40-year-old paint or something. Let's hit that real quick. So I'd say that's a really good paint remover. It just whipped that right off of there. And once again, it's, you know, it's not really breaking down too badly here. Even, you know, I hit kind of a sharp corner there, and it deburred that corner, but it didn't really blow up the disc. So I'm going to say thumbs up on that. It's called a Blaze Rapid Strip, and extra coarse, this particular one. And I'm going to say thumbs up on that. So thanks, Jim. Okay, so here's the little Stanley Vise after I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Did some little filing and hand fitting and stuff to make it smooth again. And I dusted these off on the surface plate on some paper. Exposed some of these initials here, DWM, Dave something, who knows what, Dwayne, I don't know. Anyway, it had a couple of little problems when I took it apart. It does have a couple little boson marks in it from the previous owner. It had the wrong screw in here that retains the threaded the lead screw here. And then the other problem is, and maybe you can see it here, is part of the casting was chipped out. Although the screw still grabs nicely, and it's not worth building up and doing anything with it. But so once I kind of took it apart and got all the crud off of it, I noticed that. But it works fine, and this will be a great little insert vise for the on the drill press, and for holding small stuff or smaller stuff, right? And also the other thing I use these vices for is they're kind of handy for bending little sheet metal stuff, because you have a side edge and a top edge, and so you can do some things here that might be a little tricky to do in the box and pan brake. Okay, so anyway, that's the end of this guy here. Cleaned up pretty good. I'm reasonably happy with it, and we'll start using it. Okay, so this is what I mean by insert vise. Let's drop this down a little bit. Okay, and I got step jaws on this one here, but what I can do is put this one in here kind of as a sub vise, and I can get a little, you know, this thing's it's a big milling machine vise, so now I can do some little stuff in here like that. Anyway, that's the general idea. So okay, all right. Anyway, it's going to live over here on the shelf, and I think we're going to call that one quits.